I just want to preface this by saying that I am no means an expert on this. So if you get other suggestions from Stephanie, they probably are better than the suggestions that I'm about to give you. I'm just going to show you how I do it. So at the end of each week, I make a copy from the report that I had just made. So on the tab of my engagement tracker here at the bottom, you'll notice that there's a little triangle that points down, and I press duplicate. When I duplicate it, it creates a copy right next to it. So it says copy of the March 8th through the 12th engagement tracker. The next thing I do is I press on that little triangle again, and I rename it for the next week. So the next week, I'm going to get rid of that copy of, and I'm going to change it, oopsies, to the 15th through the 19th. I'm going to just click and drag it. I like my current ones to be on the most left side, and as I go to the right, I go back in time. Now you'll notice that the one that I just made, it's identical to the one that I have the week before. So the next thing that I do is I start to clear out the information by just highlighting the cells and deleting. And it will just clear it all out so that I can start a brand new week with my students. I'm selecting all these cells by first clicking on the one that's in the uppermost corner, and then I'm pressing my shift key on my keyboard when I press the opposite corner for it to highlight the entire rectangle, and then I press the delete key on my keyboard to clear it all out. And I'm just clearing all of my values for the next week. One of the things that I do, you might have noticed that I have this column that has been grayed. So that's because I only had 4 small group lessons. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the background color of this so that I can get it ready, because next week I will have all of my small groups. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color from up here. There we go. The last thing that I'll have to do is I'm going to have to change the date right here. It still says March 8th through the 12th. So I just go right here and change that. And here we have a brand new tracker that you can use for your students. Now, if you are only using the tracker, this is where you can pause the video. I'm going to now show you how to update the engagement report. So now I'm going to go ahead to my tab for the engagement report. And just like what I was doing before, I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to press on that little triangle and press duplicate. Just like before, my copy is created to the right of it. I'm going to click on the triangle again to rename it. Get rid of that copy of and change it with the dates for next week, the 15th through the 19th. I just click off and then it automatically saves it. I'm also going to move this over so that it's paired with my engagement report. There we go. I want them to be next to each other. Here we go. Here's my engagement tracker and here's my engagement report. But here's the thing, you might have noticed that it still has my data from the copy that I made. And when I click on the cells, they're formulated. So I actually have to go and I have to change this formula so that it matches the title of the sheet for the tracker. So I have to change this so that it's the 15th through the 19th. So I just go up here and I'm going to change it from the 15th to the 19th. And what I like to do is copy this. And then for each box, unfortunately, I have to paste it in to change the formula so that it can clear out and get ready for the new week. I'm going to show you this with Amila's first, and so that you can see how I can actively change it as I enter in on the engagement sheet. Another thing that I do is I change the date. You can see that I'm a little behind because this is even from the week before that. I'm going to be busy tomorrow before these go out. All right, and now this is cleared out. I would do things like copy and paste this into the other weeks. I've done a couple things like done some translation for parents that I know that speak Spanish, but yours might just be in English and it might be an easy copy and paste. But to show you what I just did with Amila's, I changed it so each cell matches our new sheet, the 15th through the 19th, and each one is gonna match. So when I go into my engagement tracker, and let's say Amila comes for all 5 days, her attendance has been good. I go back to my engagement report and we can see that it's been updated because I changed the name of the date in the formula at the top.